I'm Juliet with Celeb Secrets. How are you guys?
Doing good. Good morning.
Good morning. Are you guys excited that the show is finally coming out soon?
I excited doesn't even like that's not even a good enough word. I'm thrilled. We cannot wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially like after the long audition process and then through all the strikes and all that. Like it's really cool. Like, oh, we did it. It's finally coming out.
Oh,
Yeah, and we
that's
filmed this
amazing.
over like a year because the strike happened, so we had like a 6 month break just to like sit there and like think about it, you know?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So the anticipation is definitely building.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's built. It's built.
Right. Right. Is there maybe something that drew you to want to audition for the roles that you play in the show?
Um, I love that Dylan loves metal. We like the same kind of music.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. And I got to learn guitar, so that's fun.
Okay.
And did it well, might I add.
Thank you.
But for me, it was just really cool to see how they were going to deal with the subject matter.
Yeah.
When I read it in the script immediately, I was like, I wonder how they're gonna pull this off. And then when we got on set and started working with everyone, I was like, oh, this is like we're trying to make this as real and authentic as possible, which was like the first thing that brought me to like I got to do this script.
That's amazing. And you got to give me kind of a recap of Hysteria. What can people expect, obviously, that haven't seen it yet? And I know you said that you guys are really getting real with the storyline.
Well, for one, I'd say it's awesome. But Hysteria takes place during the 80s, during the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
When a really popular kid in high school goes missing in a kind of ritualistic way. And Kezii and I were in a heavy metal band, so people start to, give us attention, and they're kind of afraid of us because they're thinking that we had something to do with it, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But then they just go on this whole witch hunt, and we just kind of get a lot more than we bargained for.
Yeah, yeah. And I did get to see the pilot. You guys crushed it, by the way.
Thank you.
Of course. And I like that it's placed in the 80s. What was it like kind of going back in time? Because I know you guys are only 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like going back in time?
Really weird. Like it's
Weird.
kind of like yeah, it's kind of like this weird thing where you would show up to set like in your regular clothes,
Yeah.
just your regular self. Like, oh, there's MJ, and then you get on set and it's like such an immediate from the background to our
Yeah, the
amazing
background is trippy.
actors. Like it was so completely immersive. I was like, well, I guess I'm just in 1989. I guess this is my life. As seamless as it was extremely like jarring.
And what was maybe like your favorite part about, filming in this time frame? Was it maybe the music? Was it the clothes? You gotta tell me.
I would say the music and the clothes, like it's
Okay.
just like the coolest era by far. You know what I mean? And like we are so lucky to get to play like 80s music in a TV show. It's so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And I know MJ, you said you liked the music. So who were maybe like some of your favorite bands from that time that, kind of inspired you with the
I'm
role?
I'm a big Aussie guy, and Randy Rhoads, the lead guitarist,
Okay.
he's like my inspiration. Then obviously like Iron Maiden, like Judas Priest, like pretty much every band my character says, which is pretty funny.
Oh, that's great. I love that. And Kezii, how about you? Do you have any like favorite 80s bands?
Um, I think this show gave me like all the excuses in the world to dive into any of the bands, but before I even like read a word of the script, I already loved Def Leppard. Like I already had such an infinity for that band, and
Hmm.
this show gave me like every excuse. I listened to every album. Like I did so much research, is what I like to call it. But yeah, no, probably Def Leppard.
Okay, I mean, that's great research. Like, that's an awesome job. Just like, listening to Def Leppard, listening to all this music. Oh, you guys are spoiled. I love it. I want to talk a little bit more about the storyline specifically within your characters. MJ, we kind of see that relationship blossom with Judith. Can you maybe talk a little more about the relationship and what we could expect?
I don't know. I don't want to spoil it because there's just so much. Like it's kind of like I don't know. I want to keep it all a surprise.
Okay. Were there maybe like some of your favorite moments from working with her that you could share?
In specific, I don't know what some of the I don't know. I don't want to say. I can't spoil it. I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what not to. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to try and get an answer from you one way or another. How can you describe what's to come from the relationship in 3 words?
definitely not what I expected.
Okay. Okay, great. I
Yeah.
love that. And Kezzy, can you tell me more about what we could expect from your character specifically?
Let me see. Without spoiling everything,
Yeah.
I think what you see in the first episode is basically just the introduction of
Okay.
this character and how he thinks. And I think throughout the entirety of the first season, you're gonna see a different version of him by the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
his character arc is definitely like it's
Okay.
impressive.
Great. So I'm gonna have to watch more.
Definitely.
MJ, there is a line that your character says, and it really stuck with me. He says that I'm tired of being invisible, and kind of that's when you guys really start this whole band and really getting, people to catch on to you guys to your scene. I feel like a lot of kids kind of go through that during that age. Are there maybe any like advice or tips that you would give for kids that maybe feel invisible?
Yes, most definitely. Do not practice Satanism. Does
Number
not
one thing.
help. Doesn't help. It's not gonna help anything.
Okay.
Anything, it probably makes it worse.
I love it. And are there maybe any like hidden messages that viewers can really look out for when watching the series?
That's for you guys to find. I can't spoil anything.
Yeah.
Something I think I took away from at least was just the mental fortitude between an adult and the mental fortitude between a teenager. And I think audiences will be able to see that immediately. Like, you'll see how long it takes things to affect adult characters as opposed to teenage characters. That's what I left.
Okay, interesting. And have you guys like thought maybe about a season 2? And if so, like where would you like to see this go?
Of course, we think about it. We think about it like every day. We really want to go back. And the writer Matthew Scott Kane, he just blew it out of the park with this whole project. So we all just are so excited to see what would possibly come in season 2.
Shout out Matt. Yeah,
Shout out Matt.
Yeah, MJ kind of nailed it on the head there. I mean, hopefully we see more of these characters. I think there's still so much story to be told. So
Definitely.
exciting times.
And I have time for one more question real quick. We are Celeb Secrets, so maybe a quick behind the scenes secret from set that we wouldn't know just by watching the show.
Ooh.
Let's think about this one.
Let me think. I don't know if it'd be technically a secret, but we did film in Atlanta, Georgia, but the show takes place in a fictional town in Michigan. So, I don't know if you could tell.
And also, the only good thing about the strike was that we were scheduled to film in summer, and it was Michigan in wintertime. So we were about to be in like 8 jackets in the Atlanta weather. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but it gets humid. So that's something that we kind of lucked out on because the strike happened during summer, and we got to go back in the winter.